going to ask you all on the count of 3 just to make any sound. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. I'd like to explain that any sound is a good sound. Put in a mathematical formula, it equals music. So very simply, you could go. It's a bit of metronome, but your dentist doesn't advise it. What I'm going to do now is put it in a bit of rhythm and show you the fastest teeth in the world. Here we go. There you go, that's just the teeth. But with the teeth, the tongue, and the mouth, you can go. Well, that's the teeth, the tongue, and the mouth. With the teeth, the tongue, the mouth, the nose, and the throat, all together, it sounds a little bit like this. And put it in the brakes, you in the mix. Fresh. Do we understand what beatboxing is about? Because, again, we've been imitating all our sounds, all our surroundings, our entire life. We can imitate anything natural, like a, or anything digital, all with a human anatomy, completely free. So, with this in mind, again, growing up, you had all your influences, whether it was the cartoons, whether it was doing impressions. I mean, I used to do impressions of all the teachers at school, and even when I was at, it was the last day of a football tour, and I must have been in Amsterdam. I had 2 identical twin headmasters, picture that, and it was on the last night in a restaurant in the middle of Amsterdam. They go, "Oh, we've heard that you do impressions." I was like, "Who told you that? Who told you that?" They go, "We've heard. Would you get up and stand up and do it?" Now I was straight away like, I don't know if I could do this in the middle of a restaurant, it's going to be a bit embarrassing. I jumped up on a chair and did all the impressions of my old Latin master, Mr. Spencer. Mr. Spencer! You won't know who he is, he was my Latin teacher. But again, and Mr. Warden, he was like, Mr. Archimedes, he was the science teacher. Either way, I had my 2 headmasters, these 2 grown adults, in absolute tears, in stitches. And it gave me the confidence to be able to go up and be accepted by and accredited by adults. Now again, not sort of knowing sort of what I wanted to do when I grew older. Again, there's so much pressure in school to go, what are you going to be? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now, amazingly, actually, I was very lucky. I had a grandfather called Brian Johnston, who was a very famous sports commentator and cricket commentator. You might know the phrase, the batsman's holding the bowler's willy. I'll leave it there. And so again, even seeing, and without realising, he was a huge influence, the fact he was a commentator, radio broadcaster, presenter, after-dinner speaker. And so I must have always had this, whether it was in the genes or whether just something to aspire to. But again, I was always just being given the confidence, whether it's by friends around me, to make sounds. In fact, I used to make annoying sounds just to annoy my brother. And even he pushed me with my creativity. He goes, "Stop doing that sound." So I had to come up with another sound. And I remember the one that stuck was... Anyway, whoever used this microphone next, they won't appreciate it. Sorry, Mark. And again, then I went on to another school where, again, I wanted to do drama, but I was in the top set for Latin, so I was made to do Latin, and I wasn't allowed to do drama. And little things like that sort of do repress your creativity as much as it actually spurs you on to go, right, I really want to do this. And again, the only person I really knew who was making sounds with their mouth, has anyone seen Police Academy? So the guy from Police Academy is called Michael Winslow, and he does all these incredible sounds, and they're all real, whether it's a helicopter going, or it's the siren. All these sounds are absolutely real, and they're completely, it proved that anyone can make these sounds. Like I say, any sound I can make, you can make. But seeing someone who was doing their passion, making people laugh, and actually had a job from their joy of their upbringing, and in fact, I even managed to go and see him on the front row of a pub, £5 to go and see our absolute, role model for life. And again, but sort of seeing someone be able to do it. I mean, again, all the teachers would go, "You can't do that. What are you going to do with that? That's so, irrelevant and all this." Well, that actually sort of again fueled me to continue doing this because I enjoyed doing it. I found other like-minded friends who were, whether it was into music or into drama. Either way, I found a way to be able to put this art and this skill across, rather than just making silly sounds, doing impressions, and all that thing. And what was the practical use? So then I finally went to college, where I did music technology and I did drama. And I managed to put this to all practical uses. Everyone was like, "Hey, can you do this on my track? Hey, can you do a voiceover for this? Hey, when we do this, can you do some background Foley sounds?" the answer was yes to everything. And it's actually, just saying yes to every type of performance, it has created so many opportunities for myself. I do lots of voiceovers, I do lots of presenting, I host so many events and all sorts, and obviously I beatbox. And amazingly, sort of how it also came about, I mean, again, how does Rupert, going to boarding school, become a beatboxer? Well, it was about going out and seeing everything that I ever wanted to see. And as soon as I moved back to London, going to college, I went out and I went to these events where, again, occasionally there'd be a microphone and nothing going on, and everything had gone wrong or something, and I'd just go, jump on the microphone, do a little thing. People would go absolutely mad because, again, 10, 12 years ago, even the beatboxing hadn't really been redeveloped, and it's only in the last 10, 12 years it's really made a resurgence, and the levels are absolutely incredible. And from that, I went out and explored, met people, and there was a website called humanbeatbox.com, where it's a community for people to be able to talk, exchange ideas, and then it was this whole thing of like going, wow, we're chatting over the internet. Should we all meet up in person? Wouldn't that be a bit weird? So random people from across the internet, and about 20 odd people, there's a guy called Mark Splinter who set up something called King of the Jam. Now, King of the Jam was basically, the rules were no electricity, no evil. And beatboxers came from all over the place, all over England. I think we met on a sunny day in London in St James's Park, and you could bring didgeridoo, ocarina, panpipes, dew harps, whatever it was. Some break dancers bring down some lino, start break dancing over it. A few rappers might start freestyling. You've got 20 beatboxers spitting and salivating all around and everything. Yeah. and basically from there, so if everyone's just making music straight up, and then from there, everyone gets up, does their little solo beatboxing, and the best beatboxer for the day, the best jammer, wins a pot of jam, hence King of the Jam. And this whole thing was the ethics, and this is all about sharing. And again, because we only used to meet up at the UK Beatbox Championships once a year, and then again, someone will go, oh, I don't want to show you what move I'm going to do because I might battle you. So this whole thing it's developed speech and language, and it really does open up your speech and language receptors as well, like again. So as soon as you see someone do a sound, you know it's possible, and you know that every single sound is possible. So again, by sort of sharing and doing and trading tricks, we are building our own language with beatboxing. And nowadays, again, you can go on internet and you type in how to. It's the most looked up thing, but you go on that and you can click how to beatbox. It will show you how to beatbox. But again, you can see all these YouTube clips of just someone beatboxing. Watch that 40 times, and you'll be like, wow, I get it, And obviously a bit of free. Like I said, I went to boarding school, so I had a lot of free time on my hands. But again, from there, actually, from being part of the scene, going to the Beatbox Championships, going out to so many events and things that I was passionate about, I got involved with the scene, I started battling, I just met so many incredible people, and now I'm the owner of the UK Beatbox Championships, the Fifth Element Beatboxer Agency, and last year we became the 2015 World Beatbox Champions with the Beatbox Collective. Hooray! My mum is so proud. You should try and see her explain exactly what I do. But it's amazing. But again, we are completely all controlled by tones and all our sort of impressions and surroundings and everything. It's trying to make something that's relevant to us all around. And Erin was just talking about the alarm this morning and the receptors that causes when you sort of hear an alarm, the first thing you think. So imagine you're on the tube. Don't imagine it, it's not a fun thing. Imagine you're on the tube in London and you see that busybody going, there's not many seats on that carriage. I might go to the next carriage. As you see them between the two carriages, simply go, watch that person go. Everyone's looking at them going, they go. Doors go, make a completely different sound. They go, so brush themselves down. But it's this whole thing, we react to tones. I mean, again, it's always great if one other person in the room knows that if someone's going, but again, obviously, some people might actually recognise more of a familiar tone, like the Nokia 3310 on a table. But going back to that one alarm, that one whistle, it's simply a 1K tone, and it's basically just going. So again, I could go. You could use it for anything. So even I can walk onto a bus and go, Oyster card, walk straight on. Again, that whole thing, nothing makes sense without emotion, without emotion and everything. So again, you could be about to light a cigarette. Someone goes, oh, it's okay to smoke here. The fire alarm's just there and stuff. As soon as someone lights a cigarette, you go. And again, people instantly question themselves, even though the smoke alarms don't go off for cigarette smoke. So again, but it's this whole thing of language, and it's almost like, again, we just want to sort of complete the phrase. So even if, for just a little example, if I went, as the skies are blue, red roses too, Popsy and you, Popsy and you, and I think to myself, what lovely singing voices you'll have. And it's fantastic. It's all about the need to be able to finish a phrase. If you ever go to Zurich, or I think it's Zurich Airport, and you go out there and you'll hear this boom, 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 and you watch all the English go, "Gee in the window," because it is, how much is that donkey in the window? And it's the need to be able to do a phrase. So I'm going to invite you all very quickly to stand up. Everyone stand up. Yep. There we go. Start the weekend up. And this is the bit where I would like you to finish the phrase and just keep going with it, okay? And we're going to see where we go with this, okay? So if I went dum 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 dum, louder. Keep it going. You can dance if you like. Bend your knees. Start your weekend. It's Friday. With your fists now. Bum 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 and enough. Brilliant. So amazingly, enough. That's it. No, so basically, amazingly, again, there's probably about 1 in 3 of you that confidently like, oh right, I'm ready to party. 1 in 3 of you are probably like, oh god, what is he going to make me do? Well, this is the bit where I'm actually going to make sure that we all make sounds, and like I say, any sound I make, you can make. Okay. I mean, we do this in workshops, and it's absolutely incredible. We get so many people. From any range, from schools to prisons. We go do team building with corporates. I did a session with Royal Bank of Scotland one time, and we generally use phonetics again. Boots, cats, or you could say cup of tea. About 4 of them got it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Do something more relevant to you, like pay tax, pay tax, pay tax, pay tax. So anyway, working in sort of different phonetics with stuff we know. But again, so we have this amazing sort of ability to be able to mimic anything in our surroundings. Again, we can all do impressions of each other. But again, the whole confidence is it doesn't have to be music. It can be any sound, however you want to make it. It is your sound and you own it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, start with a very simple exercise and just get you to repeat after me. Yeah. And as long as you can laugh or do whatever, it's all about just feeling good. Give a round of applause for yourselves for learning level 1 to 37 of beatboxing. That's fantastic. That's amazing. And again, this is a random skill that you can take absolutely anywhere. But again, when we do these workshops, it's not about beatboxing. It's just the confidence to be able to project yourself any way you feel necessary. Okay, release your energy. The amazing energy exchange you get when you do these workshops, when you hear people do different sounds, when you learn about people doing different techniques. Everyone has different learning styles, but it's incredible when it just becomes a team-building exercise and everyone is just having the time of their lives. So I'm going to finish very quickly with asking you, what's your sound? We do this all around the world, and it's absolutely amazing. Like, I'm going to ask you, think of that sound you used to do. Whether it was silly, whether it was loud, whether it was quiet, whatever the sound was, okay, or is. Think of that sound, and on the count of 3, we're all going to do our silliest sound. Are you all ready? That was about as good as a wet fart. Are we all ready? Jolly good, because we were going to do it anyway. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, think quiet. 1, 2, 3. And hopefully that felt great, or if you're on the front row, you got absolutely covered in saliva. So anyway, we've reached health and safety. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about what you can do with your sound, where you want to take it, how you can interact with anyone, whether it's storytelling, whether it is impressions, whether it's sound effects. You can create anything with the human anatomy, all for free. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Basics, and you have been absolutely amazing. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much.